Hey there, Maya. Well, it's a little bit of the same old for early voting tomorrow here in the great state of Texas, especially here in Houston. I mean, just copy paste what we had today. We're going to have that tomorrow. Morning lows starting in the upper 50s, afternoon high temperatures reaching the mid 80s. We will have a few more thin high level clouds tomorrow, but sunshine really dominates the forecast once again. And if you have family and friends across the great state of Texas out voting tomorrow, similar conditions across the state. We have a dry weather system that is controlling the forecast right now, and that has brought us again these beautiful but very warm conditions. Here's a live look to Houston right now. If you're headed out this evening, temperatures right now in the mid 80s. They'll stay there through about sunset within the next couple of hours. And then here in Galveston, beautiful. Should have a lovely sunset tonight. We do have a beach statement out right now for some higher tides, and you can see the waves starting to come into Galveston, but right now 78 degrees. We're talking more about a cold front. Will it reach us? That's the question I'll answer coming up in my forecast. A beautiful warm weekend, and unfortunately, folks, the return of Hot-tober is back this week. We have very warm temperatures taking us into a brand new week here in Southeast Texas, where we even could be back in the 90s by later this week. We have at least one 90-degree day up on the board for Thursday, but you see high temperatures staying in the upper 80s several days this week, so we could have easily more than one day in the 90s. And here's why. Area of high pressure. This has been giving beautiful weather to so much of the country across the Southeast, the Midwest, the Great Lakes, even the Northeast today. If you were watching any of the football games across the region, this is why. But it's also kept us dry. We've had an easterly breeze, not southeasterly breeze, so that's why we even haven't had a sea breeze or anything to give us even a spot shower. Now, that weather system will fizzle out as it moves farther east into the Atlantic, but at the same time, look at this, a cold front. It'll approach us, but unfortunately, this is going to be a swing and a miss for Southeast Texas. That front not bringing us a cool down this week. And then we have another high and dry weather system that's going to take its place and reinforce the beautiful weather, but the dry weather. So drought conditions, of course, a growing concern as we head into the rest of the month. Much of the Gulf Coast and the region, too, feeling the effects of those high and dry weather systems. Not a lot of rain in the 7-day forecast. This is how much rain we could see over the next 7 days. And I really believe it. We have zero rain chances in the forecast for this week and into next weekend. Meanwhile, of course, it is hurricane season. We're keeping a close eye on Hurricane Oscar. Still a Category 1 hurricane as it's impacting Cuba right now with some heavy rains and, of course, those hurricane force winds. It's approaching the Gulf, but thankfully it's going to take a sharp turn into early this week, heading back out to the Atlantic Ocean over the Bahamas as it does. And here's why. It's because of the jet stream. The reason why we've been able to see Oscar intensify, it's because it's been in a pocket of warm water and minimal wind shear. That changes, though. A big trough is going to take that storm away from us, and then we have wind shear over the Gulf of Mexico this week, so the Gulf should be closed for any development at least this week. Meanwhile, what else is happening? Of course, it's going to be very, very warm. We're going to start sounding like a broken record, but a beautiful day tomorrow. Lots of sunshine, potentially a few more thin high-level clouds, and then, of course, early voting begins tomorrow. Great weather across the state to get out and vote tomorrow if you're heading to the polls. Meanwhile, rest of the forecast, if you go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you still have great weather this week, but it gets warmer though. So if you're not a fan of these warmer temperatures as we head into the afternoon and this time of year, well, you might want to get out earlier in the morning and enjoy some of that quote unquote cooler weather we'll have, because morning lows still in the low to mid 60s once we get into the week. No rain chances over the next 10 days. Warm and dry forecast potentially as we head into November as well. And we'll be right back after this break.